topic matching. Matching in a graph. Actually, matching in a graph is a subset of edges in which no two edges are adjacent. So, we have to consider the non-adjacent edges in the case of matching. So, matching is a subset of the edge set. Subset of the edge set and in which no two edges are adjacent. A single edge in a graph is a matching. A maximal matching is a matching to which no edge in the graph can be added. Okay. Now, for example, let us consider the complete graph on 3 vertices. The complete graph on 3 vertices. That means that is a triangle. Now, if you consider any one edge, here we can choose only one edge here, because when we selecting this edge, you can see that edge is adjacent to this edge and adjacent to this edge. That means in the case of the complete graph on n vertices, any single edge is a maximal matching. So, the single edge is a maximal matching. A graph may have different maximal matchings and of different sizes. Okay. For example, if you consider these two examples, figure A and figure B are same. Now, we can consider the different matching here. Now, if you are choosing this edge, then you can see that this edge is adjacent to this edge, this edge, this edge and this edge. So, in the matching, we can consider only one edge here. Whereas, in this graph, suppose we are considering this edge and this edge. Then, here we can see that in the matching there are two edges. The maximal matchings with the largest number of edges are called the largest maximal matching. So, we can see there are so many maximal matching, and among that the maximal matching with the largest number of edges are called the largest. Consider the largest maximal matching. The largest maximal matching. So, what is meant by the matching number? The number of edges in a largest maximal matching is called the matching number of the graph. The matching number of the graph. Now, here you can consider these two graphs, and here in graph B, you have the maximum number of edges in the maximal matching. So, what is the matching number here? So, the matching number is 2. The matching number equal to 2 in this example. Usually, matching is studied for bipartite graph. Okay. Now, in a complete graph, in a complete matching, every vertex in V1 is matched against some vertex in V2. A complete matching, if it exists, is a largest maximal matching, whereas the converse is not necessarily true. Now, let us move to one theorem now. Now, theorem 8.7. A complete matching of V1 into V2 in a bipartite graph exists if and only if every subset of R vertices in V1 is collectively adjacent to R or more vertices in V2 for all values of R. A complete matching of V1 into V2 is in a bipartite graph exists. That means the complete matching exists if and only if every subset of R vertices in V1 is collectively adjacent to R or more vertices in V2 for all values of R. Now let us move to the another theorem. The sufficient condition for complete matching. Okay, so here we are considering the sufficient condition for complete matching. So this theorem says in a bipartite graph a complete matching of V1 into V2 exists if, but not only if, there is a positive integer m for which the following conditions is satisfied. The following conditions is satisfied. Here the condition is degree of every vertex in V1 greater than or equal to m, and which is greater than or equal to degree of every vertex in V2. Degree of every vertex in V1 is greater than or equal to m. What is m? Here m is a positive integer which is greater than or equal to the degree of every vertex in V2. Now let us move to the proof of this theorem now. Consider a subset of R vertices. A subset of R vertices in V1. These are vertices. These R vertices have at least MR edges incident on them. Here we consider a subset of R vertices in V1, and these R vertices have at least MR edges incident on them. Now each MR edge is incident to some vertex in V2. Each MR edge is incident to some vertex in V2. Since the degree of every vertex in set V2 is no greater than M. These MR edges are incident on at least MR divided by M, that is equal to R vertices in V2. Thus, any subset of R vertices in V1 is collectively adjacent to R or more vertices in V2. Therefore, by the above theorem, that theorem says a complete matching of V1 into V2 in a bipartite graph exists if and only if every subset of R vertices in V1 is collectively adjacent to R or more vertices in V2 for all values of R. So, by that theorem, theorem 8.7, there exists a complete matching of V1 into V2, and hence the proof. Okay, now let us consider one example now. Now here we can consider a bipartite graph. Suppose the vertex set is divided into, partitioned into two disjoint non-empty subsets V1 and V2 in such a way that suppose here we have C1, here C2, here C3. Suppose there are three vertices in the first set V1. Suppose there are three vertices here. Now suppose there are five vertices in V2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can name them S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. These are the five vertices. Now the connection between vertex set in V1 and vertex set in V2. Suppose that there is an edge from C1 to S1, then C1 to S2. Okay, now from C2 to S1, C2 to S1 and C2 to S3 and C2 to S4. Now from C3 you have from C3 to S5 and C3 to S3 and C3 to S4. S4 and S3. Okay, so these are the relation between these two vertices. Okay, now here you can see that degree of C1 is equal to 2, degree of C2 equal to 3, degree of C3 equal to 3, degree of S1 2, degree of S2 1, degree of S3 2, degree of S4 2, and degree of S5 1. So degree of every vertex in V1, degree of every, so here you can see that degree of every vertex in V1 is greater than or equal to 2, that is at least 2, and that is greater than or equal to degree of every vertex in V2. So by the above theorem, so there exists a complete matching. Actually the matching is discussed in the case of a bipartite graph that we already taught. Okay, so in this way we can find whether there exists a complete matching or not. Okay, now let us move to the deficiency of a bipartite graph. What is meant by deficiency? Deficiency of a bipartite graph. The deficiency is usually denoted by the symbol delta of G. Delta of G. Okay. So a set of R vertices in V1 is collectively incident on Q vertices, say, of V2. A set of R vertices, V1, V2, etc. VR, R vertices in V1 is collectively incident on Q vertices of V2. Suppose U1, U2, etc. UQ. Then the maximum value of the number R minus Q taken over all values of R equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. and all subsets of V1 is called the deficiency delta G of the bipartite graph G. So by the above theorem 8.7, the theorem can be stated in this way. A complete matching in a bipartite graph G exists if and only if delta of G less than or equal to 0. So a complete matching in a bipartite graph G exists if and only if delta of G less than or equal to 0. For the above graph, we can find the deficiency. Okay, so consider the above graph here. Here we want to find the maximum value of R minus Q. Okay, maximum value of R minus Q. So let us move to the figure now. So we can redraw that figure again. That figure is there are two collection of vertices. Here we have V1 and here we have V2. Here C1, C2, C3. Here S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. And from C1 is connected to S1, S2. S1 and S2, and C2 is connected to S1, S3 and S4, and C3 is connected to S5, S4 and S3. Okay, so this is our previous figure. Now here we can find the deficiency delta G of the bipartite graph as follows. Okay, so you consider a table like this. Here we can consider V1, here V2, here the value of R minus Q, and here for R is equal to 1. And here for R is equal to 2, and here R is equal to 3. So here R denotes the set of vertices in V1. Okay, so here V1, when R equal to 1, number of vertices in V1 is only 1. That means C1, C2, C3. Consider in this way. The vertex set contain only one vertex. Now what is the other set here in V2? When C1 is the only set, then that is connected to S1 and S2. When C2 is connected to S1, S3, S4. Okay, and here connected to S3, S4, S5. C3 is connected to S3, S4, S5. So, what is the value of R minus Q here? And what is Q here? Q is the number of vertices in V2. R is the number of vertices in V1. So, find the difference between them, R minus Q. So, 1 minus 2 equal to minus 1. Here, 1 minus 3 equal to minus 2. Here, 1 minus 3 equal to minus 2. Now, next we can consider set having two elements, two vertices in V1. C2, C3, then C3, C1. Now what are the elements here? C1 and C2 connected to S1 and S2, C2 connected to S1, S3 and S4. So there are 4 vertices here. So what is the difference here? 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. And here C2, C3. So C2, S1, S3, S4 and C3. So here also S5. So here 2 minus 4, again 2 minus 4, that is also minus 2. Then if you are considering C1 and C3, then the set contain S1, S2, then C3. So S3, S4 and S5. So here you have 2 minus 5, that is equal to minus 3. Okay, now you consider, suppose that the vertex set in V1 contains 3 elements, C1, C2 and C3. 3 members are there. Now, then what is the vertex set in V2? That contain all elements, S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. All elements are here. So, here you have 3 minus 5, that is minus 2. Among these values of R minus Q, find the maximum value. What is the maximum value of R minus Q here? The maximum of R minus Q is equal to minus 1. So, this number minus 1 is called the deficiency of this bipartite graph. Okay, clear? Now let us move to one theorem now. Theorem 8.9. The maximal number of vertices in set V1 that can be matched into V2 equal to number of vertices in V1 minus delta of G. The maximal number of vertices in set V1 that can be matched into V2 equal to the number of vertices in V1 minus delta of G. Okay, now let us move to the next topic in the next class, that is covering. Okay, thank you all.